Sawa dino owendawulo era nga tulijja kwogera ku nsonga eddiweraku tuli kwogera ku bannaffe aba Uganda AIDS Commission ni UNAIDS. UNAIDS kitongole kya mawanga magaite ekikoze omulimu ogw'amaanyi mawanga agali ku lukalu lwa Africa n'amawanga agalirainewo okulwanisa ekimbe ekyamukenembya prevention and spread of HIV AIDS, and it is a mandate and it is a responsibility of all of this. So bano bagemagana n'ekitongole kya Uganda AIDS Commission okubonesa amawulire eriwo Munnayuganda tukomiza tutyeyisa abaana eri ekimbe ekyamukenembya. Mu studios nina mwakulembera ekitongole ekya Uganda AIDS Commission era nga ne executive director chairman board ow'ekitongole ekya Uganda AIDS Commission. Tulijja kuba ate nga tuwaya ku ngeri ye mu myaka egy'ekinaana ekimbe kya Mukenembya bwe kyali kyakatulumba abasinga bakyetanga nti irogo era abantu bangi baafa ino. Aye butisaawa eno abantu batandise okukitegeera tukoze tutya okuba ate nga tutuukira ku level nga obulwaire buno bufuuka lufumu niwe tutya okuba ate nga tulinga kuonako olwaleero. Nkwaniriza ku Baba TV bamusa kubali tubona
bana mwena abali eyo nsangaire okuba ku TV kuno tube n'obubaka bwetwogeraku ne tubaweereza ku nsonga da HIV AIDS.
Yentandikire nti eira abantu nga sirimu yakaida balowoozanga nti irogo era ng'omuntu wafuna sirimu abasinga kweraliikirira. Suubira nti awo Uganda twavaawo
awo twawo ebiseera ebyatandika twaba n'abantu abaalumukanga e Masaka okufuna itaka okulya itaka mbu liyamba HIV AIDS. Ate nga aye people didn't know bati babitegeera HIV ono abantu bawawo budwaliro babona wards dona dira abalwaire bali sirimu. I'm telling you, we didn't have drugs. But luckily enough for us, His Excellency the President championed the prevention of HIV infection. And the beginning part, he constituted himself as the chair of Uganda AIDS Commission. First of all, it was in the Ministry of Health. I when after some time, WHO alcohol evaluation, it realized that, hey, we are not making much progress. Remember, the prevalence was at 18%. And in some locations, sporadic locations, we had 30%. This was very high. Although after evaluation, an entity, one that is high up under the presidency, since His Excellency was our champion, and then two, that other parties that are involved become self-coordinating entities. To have health as one of the self-coordinating entities, Minister of Gender, Minister of Eco Government, Parliament, So
those are other coordinating entities.
Yes, it became prudent by now to coordinate the national multi-sectoral response, and hence responsible for overseeing the implementation of the 3 ones. The first one is making sure that we have one plan.
The 3 ones, the first one is making sure that we have what?
One, we have one coordinating body or authority, which is Uganda AIDS Commission. 2, that we have an action plan or strategic plan that we all look at, and then we monitor. We have a monitor performance, how we are progressing, and this is how USA became to be under the office of the president.
As UNAIDS come in, and what is the relation commission and UNAIDS?
Mpegano, we taught our structure Uganda AIDS Commission being on the top at the apex, HIV multi-sector response. We get progress, improvement, because coupled with behavior improvement in behavior, and the beginning of some, that's the time when drugs started, dropping from 18 to 6%. This was a world record. WHO organizations, countries started coming to Uganda to learn
To benchmark from us.
Benchmark from Uganda. I think we should be proud.
We should be praised
exactly.
that we did what others didn't think that is possible.
Exactly. And for that reason,
yeah,
WHO went back and all the UN agencies actively participating in HIV, they put up one organ, which is UNAIDS.
Okay.
So UNAIDS is coordinating all UN interests and activities.
So all other activities, organs, parties interested in
under the UN,
they work fall under UNAIDS.
Exactly.
Is its cardinal purpose or role in this?
Now UNAIDS, it was imperative that they had a global organ in Geneva, UNAIDS Geneva, where the headquarters were situated. And today we're lucky that one of our own,
is part of
Yanyema, is the executive director of UNAIDS.
Meaning we have a bargaining power.
Exactly. But also showing, I think, that because of the work we had done.
By the way, it must be.
Yes, the work we did.
Yeah.
So it was prudent to have also one of ours heading
champion
UNAIDS.
The other side.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, UNAIDS is in charge of making sure that we stop new infections.
Of HIV.
Exactly. And that we stop this. And 3, that we work on the stigma and discrimination. Zero stigma and discrimination. Zero new infections. Kanchirire
mageta ku Baba TV mu studios muno mu Dr. Eddie ni chairman board wa Uganda AIDS Commission. Onakolwa leero Uganda AIDS Commission nga bagamba gaine n'ekitongole kya UNAIDS atukuba nti UNAIDS n'omuvangano ogugayita ebitongole enteekateeka donadona ediri mu kagu gw'amawanga amagaite mu nteekateeka daagwo okulwanyisa mukennembya. So omulimu gwaiwe ogw'ekitongole kino okuba nti n'ekitongole kya Uganda AIDS Commission okumalawo eisaabanya ly'ekimbe n'okuyamba abo abalina obulwaire okusobola okuba nti tibafa n'okumalawo okuboolagana nti omuntu waaba alina obulwaire bwa siriimu abantu batuuka 12 nti benda sharinga nabo byakulya bikopo nsowaani nangoye dayambaire.
That's very
which
true.
I think is now
and
ending.
Because we have stigma in 2 forms. We have self-inflicted stigma. Who have HIV/AIDS, but they don't want to come out to be tested.
Yeah.
They don't want to come for treatment. Ate abasaddanga n'abalina ekizibu ekyo okusingira mu abakyala from some of the sample and the people visited. Abakyala bakuba ati abasaadda tibenda kujja for treatment. Wamanya nti oli mulwaire bakuwa eddagala akati to sharing forgetting nti they will cause resistance.
Beda nga tukali kujja wali actually nenda ntegeere sa infection rate erietya
mpegano mu Uganda it's estimated that we have 1.43 million.
1.43 akakaire kalamba n'emitwalo 43.
Exactly.
Abo balina obulwaire.
And of those only 1.2 are accessing treatment and care.
Akakaire kalamba n'emitwalo 2. Esegereza abantu emitwalo 2
nabo ndooza stigma nali batawaanya tibenda kuida for treatment, and that's the problem. So we must find
mukakaire akalamba n'emitwalo 43 abasinga basaadde abakazi
mpegana abasinga abalwaire the burden is with women. 860,000 are women. And the men
women makes a bigger percentage out of 1.2 800 is almost 70 to 60,
maybe
60%. So abakazi mu bantu abalina obulwaire n'abasinga ate ate abakazi n'abasinga ku idafu na bwidandabi.
Yes, they are actually, that's the reason why the death related causes of HIV are less in women.
Abasadde n'abasinga okufa,
they end up succumbing to the disease.
So obulwaire buli kusinga kuyita abasadde.
Exactly, the numbers show.
Why do you think, apart from self-stigmatizing, what else is forcing those people not coming for testing and treatment, especially the men? Are they busy schedules or because they just fear to come?
I don't think they are busy schedules because these facilities are accessible wherever they are. The government has put this facility and people can go and get access to testing and maintaining their treatment so that they can achieve remission.
So they just don't want to come.
That's the problem. It's an attitude problem with men, and that's why His Excellency the President came up with the Presidential Fast Track Initiative. And one of the goals is to go for testing, so that we stop that tap of to the younger girls, cross-generational sector.
Can we say that the few men who have not come for treatment and others who don't come for testing might make the number more than what we believe, that women are more than the men?
No, women, because of the various studies that they do, we carry out population-based studies, and they have shown us that women are more infected
than the men.
Yes, and one of the men, and among the women is the young girls and adolescents who are highly at risk.
Do we talk about the teens?
And the teens, not so much, but the adults, yes, and the young girls, and because of this cross-sectional sex.
It is a bit worrying if you say the young girls.
Why we are worried?
When we talk about the 800, like when we approximate the figure, the mothers and the young girls, out of the 800,
I think 30%.
30% are the young girls.
Yes.
Wow.
Big figure that we must address. We must go to schools. We must go to out of schools. We must find these men and encourage them to test them to have positive living.
Ali tubona ku Baba TV banti abakazi nabali singa agemebwa kimbe kino. Kalamba n'emitwalo 43, abakazi emitwalo 8 n'abakaali abawala abato n'abasinga bakaali mu masomero. Kabiri batwala ebitundu 3 ku buli 100, nabo bamaama abenshi nti abasinga oba oli awo bali kujyawo lwa ssente. Eri abasadde abalala batali kwenda afuna bwiddandabi. You talked about men sharing treatment with their their wives. And one may say, that we have the same disease and we are taking the recommendable dose.
Yes, but you know that the dose that's given to them, Gomuchala, emumala for the period of 1 month. These days, months. Mbegano omusaadde bw'atandika okulya ku bulezi obwo kitegeeza obulenzi amala mukyala, and she will not be comprehensively provide drugs. So what we talk about as resistance. We have first line drugs with HIV/AIDS, and the cost is about 270,000 per year.
What is that?
Nti buli muntu aliko HIV, that treatment per year is 270,000.
Omuntu singa HIV omwaka omulamba.
First line.
First line nabaliwa.
Mpegano bw'obanga wakaida for treatment.
Omulungi ogusooka.
Kuwa your first line. Until olaze nti olina resistance. Meto akwiza ku second line. Oba twakwiza ku third line.
Okay.
Eri abantu abatali complacent. Amira ava ku bulezi. So and that causes and once you're developing the resistance, you develop other infections.
Dr. Kiki kyemuzuire ekiri kusinga ino ku